Good morning everyone. Today we are going to deal with section 41 of Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, which states the circumstances under which a police may arrest without warrant. Subsection 1 states, without an order from a magistrate and without a warrant, a police officer may arrest the following persons. The following persons as in which has been provided from clause A to clause I. So what is subsection 1 all about? That a police officer has the discretionary power to arrest any of these persons without waiting for an order from a magistrate and without waiting for a warrant. Clause A provides that a person who commits a cognizable offence in the presence of a police officer. There is a person, that person has committed a cognizable offence in the presence of a police officer, then that police officer shall arrest immediately that person who has committed the cognizable offence without waiting for the warrant or order. Clause B states that a person against whom a reasonable complaint has been made or credible information has been received or reasonable suspicion exists. So clause B states that there is a person, against that person there is either a reasonable complaint or a credible information or a reasonable suspicion as to what? That he has committed a cognizable offence, and that cognizable offence is punishable with imprisonment for a term which may be less than 7 years and which may extend to 7 years with or without fine. Now, before proceeding towards the arrest of that person under clause B, certain conditions has to be taken into consideration by the police officer. The first condition is that the police officer has the reason to believe that the person has committed the said offence, the said cognizable offence, and that reason to believe must have been acquired by the police officer on the basis of the complaint, information or suspicion existing. Only on basis of that complaint or information or suspicion activity only, the police officer must be having the reason to believe that the person has committed the said offence. The second condition is that the police officer is satisfied that the arrest is necessary. He thinks that the arrest is necessary. Why? Because he thinks that if he will not arrest the person immediately, then the person might commit any further offence, or he thinks that it is necessary for the proper investigation of the offence, or if he thinks that it is necessary to arrest the person immediately because he has the capability of disappearing the evidence or tampering with the evidence, or if the police officer thinks that the person has the capability of inducing or threatening or promising any other person who is acquainted with the facts of the case, and the person to be arrested wants to induce or threaten or promise that other person so that he will not disclose any important fact to the court or police officer, then the police officer will arrest that person immediately. Or the scenario is that when the court will be requiring the person to be present before it, that person will not be available, he will not make himself available in the court, so the police officer thinks that the arrest is necessary in order to ensure that his presence is, as when the presence would be required by the court, that would be available, he would be present in the premises of the court. So these are the conditions which the police officer has to take into consideration before proceeding with the arrest under clause B. Now, while the police officer is making that arrest, he will have to record the reasons in writing. He shall have to record the reasons in writing. Now, there is a proviso attached under clause B. It states that whenever the police officer thinks that it is not necessary to arrest any person under section 41 subsection 1, then the police officer shall record the reasons as to why he is thinking, why is he of the opinion that it is not necessary to arrest any person under section 41 subsection 1. Then moving on to clause BA. Clause BA states that a person against whom credible information has been received. There is a person, against that person a credible information has been received. About what? That he has committed a cognizable offence, and that cognizable offence is punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to more than 7 years, whether with or without fine, or with death sentence. And on the basis of that credible information, the police officer has a reason to believe that the person has committed the said offence, and if he has developed that reason, if he has already acquired that reason to believe, and it is based on a credible information. On a credible information, then the police officer will lead with the arrest of the person immediately. Then moving on to clause C. Clause C states that a person who has been termed as a proclaimed offender under the CRPC or by the state government, if the state government orders that a person is a proclaimed offender, or if the CRPC by any of its provisions states a person to be a proclaimed offender, then the police officer may arrest that proclaimed offender immediately without waiting for the order or warrant. Then next is clause T. Clause T states that a person in whose possession anything is found. There is a person, and in that person's possession anything is found, and that thing is reasonably suspected to be a stolen property, and who may reasonably be suspected of having committed the offence with the reference of such thing. And after that thing is found with that person, there is a reasonable suspicion that that person has committed the offence as to stealing the property. So when this is the scenario, then the police officer may immediately arrest the person. Then clause E states that a person obstructs a police officer while in execution of his duty. There is a person, if he is willingly obstructing any police officer while that police officer is executing his duty, or if the person has escaped or making an attempt to escape from lawful custody, then the police officer shall immediately arrest the person and may arrest the person without waiting for a warrant or order from the magistrate. Then clause F states that a person who is reasonably suspected of being a deserter from any of the armed forces of the Union. So there is a person, and if he has been suspected of being a deserter from any of the armed forces that is available under the Union, then that person might be arrested by the police officer immediately. Then moving on to clause G, there is a person who has been concerned in any act, he is actually concerned in any act, or against whom a reasonable complaint is existing, or a credible information is existing, or a reasonable suspicion is existing that he is associated with any act which is committed outside India at any place, and for which he is liable to be apprehended or detained in custody in India under any law which is related to extradition or any other law. And when the act would have been committed in India, it would have been an offence. So if this is the scenario, if he is directly concerned, or if there is a reasonable suspicion, credible information existing that he is concerned with that sort of act, then he might be arrested by the police officer. Then moving on to clause H, there is a released convict. If that released convict commits breach of any rule that has been provided under section 356 subsection 5, then the police officer may arrest the person without waiting for the warrant or waiting for the order of the magistrate. Then clause I states that a person for whose arrest a written or oral requisition has been received from another police officer. There is another police officer, and that police officer has made a requisition, and that requisition might be in a written state or an oral state, and the police officer is confirmed that for that person's arrest a written or oral requisition has been received from another police officer. Then this particular police officer shall proceed with the arrest of that person. There is a proviso attached to clause I. It states that the requisition specifies the person to be arrested. The requisition must specify who is to be arrested and the offence and or other cause for which the arrest is to be made. And the requisition must state the offence for which he is being arrested, or if there is any other cause for which he is being arrested, it must be mentioned in the requisition. And if it appears therefrom that the person might lawfully be arrested without a warrant by the officer who issued the requisition. So if from the requisition it appears that the person who is about to be arrested, he is lawfully arrested, I mean there is legally absolutely valid to arrest that person without a warrant by the officer who has actually issued the requisition, then this police officer will immediately arrest that person. Then subsection 2 states that a person concerned in a non-cognizable offence or against whom a complaint has been made or credible information has been received or reasonable suspicion exists. So there is a person who is concerned in a non-cognizable offence, who has committed a non-cognizable offence, or against whom a complaint has been made, or a credible information is existing, or a reasonable suspicion is existing as to what of his having so concern that he has actually committed the non-cognizable offense. So these all are related to cognizable offense, or if he is directly concerned with the commission of the cognizable offense, then he shall not be arrested. But under what exception? Except under a warrant or order of a magistrate, which would be subject to section 42. Keeping under view section 42, if there is a warrant or order of a magistrate, then only he would be arrested. Otherwise, he would not be arrested if that person is concerned in a non-cognizable offense, or against whom a complaint has been made, or credible information has been received, or reasonable suspicion exists of his having been concerned with the non-cognizable offense. So this is all about section 41 of Code of Criminal Procedure. Now there are certain points which has to be taken into consideration when you are dealing with section 41. So chapter 5 deals with arrest of persons. So sections 1 to section 60A deals with the arrest of the persons and rights of the arrested persons and all. Then the term arrest has not been defined anywhere under the Code of Criminal Procedure. In general sense, arrest means taking of a person in custody under legal authority. Under Union of India versus Padam Narain, it has been held by the court that the arrest may be defined as the execution of the command of a court of law or of a duly authorized officer. Arrest, by whom the arrest is to be made, it can be divided into three parts. So an arrest could be made by a police officer, an arrest could be made by a magistrate, an arrest could also be made by a private person. Then another case law which we have to take into consideration is Siddharam versus State of Maharashtra. Here it has been provided a person cannot be arrested at the mere whim of a police officer. It is not a matter of caprice, and arrest would be illegal unless circumstances specified in any of clauses of section 41. Another case law that is highly important, that's Lalita Kumari versus Government of UP and others. Here it has been provided that merely because FIR has been registered, the same cannot give power to arrest. The registration of FIR and arrest are two entirely different prospectus. Another thing which we need to take into consideration under section 41 is the arrest of the members of judicial service, whether a judicial officer would be arrested in a simple manner or not. This case has been dealt under the case law Delhi Judicial Service Association versus State of Gujarat. Here it has been provided that there are certain guidelines which are to be taken into consideration when we are talking about the arrest of a judicial officer. So these are various guidelines which are to be taken into consideration when we are dealing with the arrest of a judicial officer. So these guidelines you may take into consideration when you are preparing the note. It consists of 7 points, that what are the guidelines which one has to follow when he is leading with the arrest of a judicial officer. So this is all about section 41 of Code of Criminal Procedure. So we'll just revise it once more so that we'll remember it in an easier manner. So what is section 41 stating about? When the police officer may arrest without warrant, subsection 1 states that a police officer may arrest the following persons without the order from a magistrate and without a warrant. What is the first clause? The person committed cognizable offense in the presence of the police officer. Clause B, there is a person, against that person there is a reasonable complaint, credible information, or a reasonable suspicion that he has committed the cognizable offense, which is punishable with imprisonment for a term which may be less than 7 years or which may extend to 7 years, with or without fine. There are certain conditions to be taken into consideration when we are dealing with section 41. Condition as to police officer has reason to believe that such person has committed the said offense on the basis of such complaint, information or suspicion. Condition 2 is that the police officer is satisfied that the arrest is necessary because it's necessary so that the person would not commit any further offense or it's necessary for proper investigation of the case, or it's necessary for not allowing the person to disappear the evidence or tamper with the evidence. It's necessary in order to not allow the person to be arrested, to induce, threaten, or promise any person who is acquainted with the facts of the case, or if it's necessary as per the view of the police officer, that when the court would require his presence, he would not be present unless he is arrested. And all these reasons, while he is making the arrest, while the police officer is making the arrest, he must record the reason why he is arresting the person. But there is a proviso: if there are certain circumstances under which he thinks that the police officer thinks that the arrest is not necessary under section 41 subsection 1, then the police officer shall record that reason immediately. Then clause BA states that there is a person against whom a credible information has been received that he has committed a cognizable offence which is punishable with imprisonment that may extend to more than 7 years, with or without fine, or with death sentence, and on the basis of that information, police officer has reason to believe that the person has committed the cognizable offence. Then clause C, there is a person who has been termed as a proclaimed offender. By whom? By CRPC or by the order of the state government. Then clause D, there is a person in whose possession anything is found and it is suspected to be a stolen property, and there is a scenario, there is a circumstances that that person has only committed this stolen property. Then clause E states that there is a person who is willfully obstructing any police officer while executing his duty, or he is trying to escape, he has escaped or is making an attempt to escape from lawful custody. Clause F states that there is a person who is reasonably suspected to be a deserter from any armed forces of the Union. Clause G states that there is a person who is actually concerned in any act or against whom a reasonable complaint is existing, or credible information is existing, or a reasonable suspicion is existing that he is associated with any act that is committed outside India in any place, and for which he is liable to be apprehended or detained in custody in India with relation to any law that is related to extradition or any other law. And when the act would have been committed in India, it would have been termed as an offence. Then clause H, there is a released convict, and if he commits any breach of any rule under section 356 subsection 5. Clause I states that there is a person for whose arrest a written or oral requisition has been received by another police officer. There is a proviso attached to clause I that the requisition must specify the person who is to be arrested and also the offence for which he is being arrested or any other cause for which he is being arrested. And if it appears from that requisition that the person must lawfully be arrested without the warrant by the person, by the police officer who has issued the requisition, then subsection 2 states that there is a person who has been concerned with a non-cognizable offence, or there is a complaint existing or credible information existing or reasonable suspicion existing that he is associated with a non-cognizable offence, then the police officer shall not arrest that person. But when he would be able to arrest, the exception is that he would be able to arrest under a warrant or order of a magistrate, which would be subject to section 42. So this is all about section 41. I hope this notes would be helpful for your examination or for general understanding as well. Thank you. Have a nice day.